I used to sit literally and call the stores when I knew shoes were coming out to see who would get them first, because I was known for having my sneakers early. So that was like my thing. So
Gotcha.
Today, we talk about...
Welcome back. New special guest. KB. So, Kristen Black. Is Black your actual last name?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, we solved the mystery there. KB and return special guest, Mike in the building, the camp out. KB can be found KB1ACK23 on Instagram. Are you on anything else that we can find you on?
on Twitter, it's KBlack23, but it's just KBlack23.
Got it. And then obviously Mikey here can be found at the camp out with a 0 instead of a U instead of an O, right?
I like that you cleaned that up from last time. Waited a half an hour on the last interview. He's like, "Wait, do you have social?" I was like, "Oh."
No, I plugged in the beginning.
Near the beginning. That's all right.
Didn't I? Yeah. And obviously a relatively new host to the Hype Reports. And both these guys run the Breakdown every Thursday on a Thursday. Don't be late. Tone is obviously late for this, but we'll have to get him on a future episode. So with that said, so welcome. I just want to go right off the bat and ask you. So congrats on the recent sneaker thing. So is this...
I'm so sorry. I was trying to close that. I'm so sorry.
So good. But I wanted to ask you, so he kind of gave me some details about it, but I want like the full story, because I know last year, and I was telling you this last time you were here, the way we met is the same way we met, which is last year your event for the Cultivator thing,
Yes,
right?
Cultivator.
And then you had a sneaker thing going on there, and then again this year, again at All the Right, we meet up and you're having this other sneaker that you wanted. So can you, I'm guessing they're related, but if you want to give us like the breakdown of like how this all kind of
Okay, so
happened. Because I'd never even heard of Cultivator until I met you. So.
Exactly. Well, so it's 2 years ago. They had like a program that I saw people like sneaker people were sending it all around, like just to sign up, and they were picking creatives to design shoes.
Okay.
So I signed up. Didn't think they'd pick me because literally I wrote like the most bullshit paragraph.
So it's just a writing submission.
Basically
You don't
a writing
send.
submission,
Okay.
but you put your Instagram. So they definitely pick creatives based off of how creative your Instagram is, I guess. So yeah, that's how I got into it. They picked me and they gave me 3 shoes at that point. At that point, Nike wasn't as on board, so they're like an independent company, so they want to tell people's stories. So they were working with Nike.
I see.
But
Okay.
they didn't have any special things that like I got this time.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was when it was like in the beginning phases. So then this time they brought it back.
And it's called the Cultivator?
It's called Cultivator. We Are Cultivator is the Instagram.
Got it.
And basically they tell people's stories. You don't have to be like into sneakers or clothes. You could be a photographer. You could be a doctor. You could be anything. Right. As long as you have something to tell and it could be like resonated with people.
Okay.
So yeah, so then after that, they asked me back. They said, would you want to come back? We're going to do an all New York theme. And I said, of course, and they were like, we're going to make you featured creator, which would mean that I would get the Nike commercial and have my shoe displayed in Nike. And you can order it there.
Okay.
So, but at that point, I still thought, like, because last time I only got, like, ID options. Like, you could make my shoe on ID at that point. I mean, I wanted to do it because this is something that I love and want to do. So I was like, whatever platform I can get to make it bigger, I was willing to do. So I did it. I was like, maybe.
So there wasn't a new contest you entered. This was all just like them.
Came back
Got it. Okay.
They say if you enter once that you shouldn't enter again, but I definitely didn't. I wasn't even thinking along the lines of going back, but anytime they reached out to me to do anything or have meetings or get my input, I always were like down to do that. So yeah, when they asked me back, I was excited. And then they said those three models that they were giving were, different, but we'd only get one shoe. So I was really happy because it was shoes that weren't on ID yet. So yeah, basically went from there. And then I wanted the 270 React because I knew the paneling would be like ridiculous for me to do.
Okay. So they gave you a choice.
Well, they didn't give everyone a choice, but I feel like I said it this way. I was like, I would really love to do the React. So they were like, oh, don't worry, we got you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard good things about that 270 React, but I don't know. It's just not for me. I'm not a... I know you're a fan, but I've heard it's very comfortable, but I don't know. Just to me...
Not for me either, but now it is.
Well, it's for you and Serena Williams, apparently.
A bunch of other people.
Oh, yeah. No, the pictures are fucking ridiculous. Because I do like the colorway because I'm a huge fan of like loud color combinations. But... also, it's kind of cool to see like literally everyone in one photo is wearing the same shoe. That's got to be nuts. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I definitely sold like over 400 pairs, so I got a lot of pairs out there. They like capped me. They were like, that's it. You can't. They said they ran out of materials.
Boo.
But I don't think that's necessarily true.
But do you care? Like, did you want to, what was your thoughts on it? Did you want like anyone and everyone to get it Kanye style, or did you want like, yo, I want these things limited, friends and family, baby?
I wanted everyone to get them because I knew it was only a 2-week window to buy them, so it was going to be capped regardless.
I see, gotcha. Okay, that's fair.
Like with me, it's not. I don't have that much visibility. Well, now I do, but I didn't have that much visibility at that point. So once my shoe got to a wider audience, then my shoe was like, people still asking me for it.
Yeah, right.
But like I never thought that it would get to like this level. I'd exceeded my expectations. All I really wanted to do was to get more traction and to build my name more. I didn't expect to go from like here to there in like 5 seconds. But
Well, it looks like 5 seconds to the naked eye, but like obviously you've been putting in work. You've been taking all these photos. You guys are out taking thousands of photos a day, right? So
I mean, not a day.
no comment.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna sit here and.
Well, it looks like it, at least to me, because like as a fellow creator, I know how hard it is to like get ready, go out, find like a halfway decent place to like take one photo that you're going to use, but you clearly have to spend like half a day finding that one photo. So like I know how much effort it has to take. Right?
Like luckily, like I'm pretty quick about it.
Well, you get better with time, right?
Yeah, I'm just no. I'm quick about getting like a decent shot. Like, so it's not like I have to spend that much time. It's just like, all right, where are we? Let's see.
And also, he knows what I like because he takes my pictures all the time. So he knows the angle that I want. He knows that I want to show my face. So like
but those are important. You gotta find those things out. And once you do, then you're in rhythm, and then you're on shortcut mode, and then
Nike photo shoot. I was like, no,
there's got to be a lot of pressure right now.
It was a lot of people around me with all these crazy cameras and had my name on the thing, and it was like Kristen, take one.
Oh, so it wasn't like you were tasked with. Okay, that's actually less pressure then, because I would think if you're like right now when I take a photo of a sneaker or whatever, I'm just like, all right, this is for me, and however it turns out, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to do the best I can, but it's like whatever I get, whatever. But I feel like if I was then asked by someone like Nike, like, all right, you got to submit some of your photos, I'd be like, like the pressure would be more.
Like
but if they're doing it
pictures are better
themselves,
than Nike. No offense to Nike, but I mean, he did all my marketing photos and everything that he did. I felt like screamed me, and what they did with me was like they dressed me in what they wanted me to wear. I was telling them how to take the sneaker photo. I was like, no, go here, I'll hang my feet. They're like, oh yeah, we forgot you're a sneaker girl. Yeah,
well, what are they then?
Well, they're not.
They're just the media team.
Creatives. That's really like what they look for.
But I feel like shouldn't they have had this done before, where they kind of know what they're doing? I don't know.
All right, so like what they do is they say Nike asked you for a photo. If they're asking you for a photo, it means they've seen most of what you've done and like your style.
That's what I figured, right?
But they like your style already, so you really don't have to be too in your head about it. You can be like, all right, well, I could just do what I do for the theme that they want.
Yeah,
that's
right.
perfectly fine. And that's kind of what that's like. They're like, okay, we like that you do a cult classic kind of video vintage feel to your content. We want you to do that for this. So you come in and do that for that. That's it. Simple.
They
That might not fit everybody.
knew my page because when I went to the photo shoot, they were like, "Oh, you never like to show your face and you stand like this," and they were doing my pose. So I was like, "Oh wow, the Nike reps know what's going on here."
Yeah, because you got to brand yourself. That's what. Did that come from something? Was there a?
That honestly, we had like an interview with them after, and they're like, well, "How do you feel that the Nike commercial, like, or being a featured helped you?" And I didn't sell more shoes from that because the commercial they made, it said buy the shoes at Nike.com, and you can only buy the shoes through my link. So if you didn't have access to me, you couldn't get the shoe.
I see.
So they like misled, because if you went on Nike.com and searched it wasn't there.
It seems kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why would they
That
do
was
that?
them trying to sell Nike by you. Is what
Okay.
they were trying to sell.
Gotcha. So you're basically modeling for their general.
Yeah, so they were
shit,
reinventing
right?
Nike by you. So that's why for Cultivator this time around, they gave special. They don't actually own that swoosh, those squiggly swoosh. They don't own it, so that probably would never be used again.
I see.
The Cultivator owns that. So.
Interesting. Wow, I had no idea that went that deep.
There's a lot of insight.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I have a lot of insight into this. Yeah.
Well, you guys are in it all the time. Like I like to think I'm super into sneakers, but like you guys are definitely like maybe 3-4 levels deeper than I am into this shit.
Well, we're at like Bowser right now.
Like,
just coming into the castle.
I've been into sneakers pretty much literally my entire life. Like,
right.
Literally. Like I've always liked shoes, and now like in clothes. So I was always into like streetwear and stuff, and now it's like the big thing, and it's like.
So guide me through like give me like 3-4 milestones of your sneaker journey. So like when you first started, what was your favorite? And then
Jordans.
any
I
particular
love
model?
Jordans. 11s.
11s.
Those are my favorite.
So
I was
11s.
literally like 9 years old.
Right, yeah. So you're messing with these 11s right at 9 years old, and obviously your sneaker tastes
Griffies,
evolve,
and then,
right?
like Bo Jacksons, and then I was into Air Max. I was into even New Balance. I have every color 574 from. I just was into dressing fly. Like I always like to look.
So was there like a go-to place you would go to either shop or be seen or hang out?
Well, before social media, I used to go to stores. Like, so I'd go to Jamaica Avenue or Jamaica Coliseum Mall, like literally by myself. And every time I'd go to a store and get Jordans early or knew they had Jordans early, I'd get a card. So I had like a stack of cards.
And did
so
your
every month-
family think you were weird
Yes.
doing this shit?
Oh
and
my God.
just
So I used to sit literally and call the stores when I knew shoes were coming out to see who would get them first, because I was known for having my sneakers early. So that was like my thing. So
Gotcha. Were you the only girl when you were
Yes.
early on in this thing that you
yes.
knew of?
I used-
Okay.
yeah.
That's got to be fucking
I used to get
tough.
abused.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it's got to be weird, especially because even right now, when I see girls into sneakers, at least it's more accepted, but like clearly they're kind of like in their own world, it seems like, when they're doing it. But I can only imagine back when you were into it, when no one else is doing it.
Yeah,
That's got to be
crazy.
especially because you want all the stuff the guys have, because the guys get all the good sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just
Well,
what it is. So.
That's to be determined.
Well,
I buy a lot of women's shoes.
Well, nowadays, but I'm just saying, like, during your come up, obviously,
Yeah.
the majority of what you liked, Jordan 11s, Jordan anything, was all male only. So
Listen, Jordan 11 back in 01, the women's Jordan 11 was better than the 11 lowest.
We're not talking about 01 here. We're talking about like 95, like 94.
All right, take it
like,
easy. Take it easy. That's when women's Jordans were popping up in the 13.
94?
No, 2001.
Okay.
But see, you know what? You just remind me too. It's got to be weird having a tiny size, because the shape of the shoe looks weird to me. I don't like the way the shoes look smaller.
Sometimes they look, well, sometimes you either get, it looks only good in that size or in that size.
Well, I haven't seen a ton of smaller size, because obviously it's what you wear, so you see it more than I do. But like anytime I've seen the smaller sizes, they don't look as good to me. But maybe I just don't see them as often.
because
I
the color,
prefer-
because it's not enough shoe. Like you're doing the color blocking and stuff is not that much.
The small size is always more fire, because sometimes I'll look at a shoe and be like, oh, that's just fire.
Really?
And then I'll see my size. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
You know, it's funny that whenever I post a photo, I don't know what I'm doing with my angles, but like for whatever reason, every time
It looks like a canoe.
No, I posted to like Reddit, especially. I posted to our sneakers, and every time it's just like, "Yo, how small is your foot?" I'm like, "Dude, this is a size 11." Like, I don't understand. For whatever reason, all my shots look like I have a small foot. I don't know.
It's
Because
probably
you're
like
tall.
your angle and
Your
your
stature.
reach.
Yeah, or I don't know. Whatever. It's not like it bothers me, but anyway. So you had that. So the Jordan craze hit you early, and then New Balance, all this SB craze.
Yes, I had Tiffany lows. I didn't even know I had them. Like that's how like I was just
Didn't
into
even
sneakers,
know
and
you
then I,
had
like,
them.
No, because there was a store
like
called
that.
Secret Society by All the Right in Corona.
Interesting.
And you didn't know, it was like a secret store that nobody knew about, no sign, anything. You had to be like in the know to get, and they had all exclusive SBs.
Really? How's a unknown store like that get tier 0 shit like that? That's
I mean, it was a skateboarder, I think, who owned it. So like when you're a
okay.
skateboarder, tier 0 doesn't matter. If you're a skateboarder, they'll give it to you.
okay. I guess in the prime SB era, that was like a thing, right? Yeah. No, I missed that whole wave because I got in hardcore. I got in 2016, so I'm still like a newbie.
Yeah.
But like I learned mad quick because I was just nerdy about it. I was just like, all right, let me
But
learn
I don't
everything.
mind, like, see a lot of OG sneaker people like me, like, oh, they weren't into shoes that long. But if you're honest about your, like, when you started shoes, like, I don't have respect for you. You know, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I was into shoes my whole life. Meanwhile, I don't have one picture. Like, you can
No, I
just
mean,
tell.
I was into shoes. Like I was collecting dress shoes well before sneakers. From like once I started making some money, like 2013 ish. But sneakers, like I always appreciate sneakers, but I had no idea how fucking like deep this shit goes. Like, cause I had the same pair of Superstars that I just absolutely adored from 2007, 6 college all the way through almost the end of my medical training. We're talking like almost a decade
Same
plus.
pair? Did you
I
get a
wore
new
that was
pair?
the only, and I still have them. I'll show you in a minute. It's my only pair of sneakers for over a decade, and I was cool with it. I was just like, I love these sneakers.
But
and
did you wear like dress shoes more than sneakers?
no, because college into med school, I mean, I would get dressy just to be an asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I always loved dress shoes more just because they had more of a status esteem to them. It
That's
just
a
made me
testament to that
feel.
sneaker. Not gonna lie, 10
Well,
years of wearing the same shoe. Like, I don't think I'd be able to make it.
But I think the other thing is you guys had a different relationship with sneakers than I did, because growing up upstate, obviously sneakers were important because I got fucking bashed for having Payless sneakers, right? But I understood the importance of sneakers, but not as much as you guys get it here, because like over there, cars were the thing for us as kids. Like, yo, we're gonna get this car, we're gonna get that car. Here, no one's fucking driving. Everyone's got your sneakers are your car. Like someone had, I forget what was it, a Bobito interview or some shit where he was just like, yeah, when people pull up, they're pulling up in their sneakers, not in their car. So you can't really show off in your car. So you gotta be fly with the sneakers. So it was it, yeah. So yeah, that's you guys just have a whole different appreciation than I think I ever could.
I honestly think me and Mike are different sneakerheads. Like we are definitely in the same realm now, like because we both like everything, but we're definitely like not the same sneakerhead.
Yeah, throw some shade.
That's fine. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Elaboration on this. Like,
My passion for sneakers never faded. Like it never like died out for me. Like I just.
What his did?
Apparently,
I
had a different. I know what she's talking about though. Like
it wasn't like how I was always into streetwear. In fact, like this, what I'm getting recognized for, I was always into. Like,
okay.
It wasn't. That's why I was like, I feel like everybody's late. Like maybe I was born before my time. Like
no, I just think you, like I said, like you guys are 3 years or 3 levels deeper into the shit than I ever. Like I'm playing catch up to you. But that's part of it is like you were first to something. It's kind of like how rock and roll when it first started is like this revolutionary thing. So you get all these classic rock groups. But like I'm watching their music videos play at bars and stuff, and I'm just like, this looks so dated. Like because if everyone starts doing it, all of a sudden you look at that and you're just like, whatever.
Exactly. They're gonna change it up now.
Yeah. I don't know what the change is, but I don't know. I think I understand when like those old heads get mad because like for them it was clearly less about the sneakers, more about the quote culture around the sneakers, and obviously that word gets thrown around a lot. But I'm talking about it more like you were saying, you would go to these sneaker stores. This is before social media. These were the meetup spots. This was the social media, was at the store or at this. And when all that disappeared, then these old heads that are of that way, they're just like, man, this is not the same fun. Like it's not as fun to like post it to Instagram and like other photos and like look for these.
Also, people are followers and they see somebody's picture on Instagram and they like need to have it instead of like the work that we did at that time to get our own style. It's like people are just copying it. So that's why they get sour.
Yeah, no,
like,
I get
this
it.
person has $1 million, so they're able to buy everything that I should be getting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they see it.
And like I said, that's why I say I respect their opinion on it. But my mind always goes back to if you were always about the shoes, then you would just
exactly. That's why
you would evolve with the game, right?
I completely agree with that. I actually don't like the way people are kind of misconstruing this whole social media thing too. Like it's the evolution of the game. Like it is what it is.
It's the evolution of life. Like this is what it is.
At some point, people are not even going to be driving their cars anymore. It's going to be automated. So like,
and then people are going to bitch that yo, my muscle car used to be so dope and shit. Like yo, what's up?
Exactly. That's exactly what it's going to like turn.
And that's fine. Like I'm cool with those kinds of people too. Like they can still exist, But I don't know. The new school is here, so either jump on the train or bye.
Exactly.
Get left at the station.
But I don't know how to segue this into what the other question I had for you. But I think part of this evolution is how you take the photos and the social media postings, all that. And obviously, I think the iPhone is a huge part of that. Because I've gone, you see my DSLR and old school shit. I call it old school, but like obviously it's a very good camera. You have a very similar one. Do you exclusively shoot on these DSLR type things with the fancy lenses?
Yeah, for the most part. Like it depends what it is, but if I'm doing something on the go, I will use my iPhone. Yeah,
I strictly do iPhone now. Just it's convenient. It's always in my pocket. It'll always be with me. If something comes up, snap a quick photo that holds up 4K / great resolution, whatever.
Max coming, so.
And then with the new phone, I'm excited. I know you were talking about it on the Hyperport, right? Yeah. But I mean, this is why I made the conscious decision. I forget what year it was, but one year I just decided, you know what? Every year I'm going to upgrade the iPhone because this is all I used for creating content. So I need the best possible phone on a camera.
Upgrade every year.
Yeah, I just have to. Like this is what I do. Right?
Do it.
Me too. I'm like, I'm not. Oh no, I need it.
There's always that one spec that I'm like, I need it.
Well, I mean, I understand my non-creative friends, if you will, that just stick to Android and they're just like, dude, my phone had this like 8 years ago. Poop. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't give a shit. Like the amount of convenience of the Apple ecosystem for me is like this kind of stuff I'm doing.
It's green bubbles anyway. Green bubbles are for losers.
Ew.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. The shade has been thrown.
God damn it. Late button. Sorry.
It's going to become part of the joke, though, so don't worry. Yeah, it's got a little late to the
Sorry,
party.
I'm not reading these comments.
All good.
Yeah, internet comments. How do you handle those? Do you still get a lot of
No, I don't actually.
bullshit?
Well, Sadra, you've had a few internet comments.
I love my
on
internet
that
comments though.
Oh, you want me? Oh, my.
Segue for
So
you.
since you said the breakdown is different with me on. You know, what's not the same?
Oh.
I was like, word? He said that?
Yeah, no. What
I was like, it's okay. We got more followers and more views.
No, what I said was, it's cool. KB's like part of the line. I don't know exactly what I said, but what I was getting at is it's cool that she's part of it. It's just not the same when Tone doesn't start the show with his thing. Just because like that's
not that part.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what he said.
Well,
It sounds a lot nicer now.
Well, we could go back to the tape, but that's what I was
Play
getting
that
at.
B-roll,
But no, basically what I was saying was like that's how the show started. So it's got a different charm now. So it's not the same anymore.
If you watch United
No
Souls, you
shade.
would know that it really started with me.
Did it?
I was on United Souls.
I know. We talked about that because I remember
I
you.
was saying before Tone.
Oh, yes.
Because I remember you in. No, I.
You guys like everything too sensitive.
No, obviously you were. I mentioned to him that I saw you on the United Soul stuff, but my whole thing was like that whole thing that Tone was doing at the beginning and the cadence and all that stuff. Like it's not the same when you do it.
I get it.
Duh.
I get it. Tone is definitely like the personality on
Samoan.
the show. I love to, but he can't talk the whole time. Otherwise, I'll get no words in. You understand? I'm like.
No, that's the other thing I love teasing him about, and actually Tone too, because I met you all at the same time. But then Tone I would see every Monday after that I was in town because the bar he works at does a comedy or used to do a comedy thing every Monday. So I'd love going there, and then he would be there. It'd be cool. And I remember the first few times I saw him like, yo, you guys got to stop teasing KB, man, because you're like you're in the middle, you're getting smushed, you're getting bullied, and it's just like it's hilarious for me to watch it, but it's also just like I see you just like, yo, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, no, now I don't care. Now,
Now she speaks up. That's
No, it's important.
It helps though because being a woman in the sneaker culture, like you don't get respect because right away they put you in a category. So all the respect I'm finally getting, like I feel like I've earned it.
Yeah, well, because they even said that when you first started coming on, when you would just call it out in the in the
She
conversation.
doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah,
I was like, I
you
don't
bet,
know.
guys, you gotta relax. All right, she's fine. She knows her shit. Yeah, and then eventually over time, yeah, you earn that respect, if you will, just because. Yeah, the assumption is you don't know shit about sneakers because you're a girl.
People
That's
need
just
the
what it is.
affirmation too sometimes. Like sometimes, there's a lot of instances where girls will come on or women will come on and nobody goes like, this is her resume. Like, and people in the audience are like, oh, why are we listening to this?
Yeah, right. Isn't that anything with any kind of optics? Like if I walk into a surfer club, people are like, yo, does this motherfucker know how to surf or what? Like I got to prove myself, you know? But so it's not just a man-women thing, but definitely in sneakers. It's because like I said, when you were coming up, all your shit was male dominant preferences as far as like the sneakers and stuff goes. So I think it's
Sneakers
only
and stuff.
I mean, not
sneakers.
yes, my head up, but I definitely,
I'll give you one of those. Boom, yeah.
Sooner or later.
I definitely dress and have a better collection than most of the dudes who comment bad shit about.
I wish I could do this. Snap with my fingers.
They say things and I'm like, you have no idea, like the collection.
Yeah, has anyone ever said anything to your face, like on the streets?
No, I get in the streets. I get respect because the resellers know me because I used to be on the line.
Okay.
So they saw me camping. So
The reseller's perspective isn't the one that, solidifies your respect also.
no, but in New York, to my face, that's who's in my face.
I definitely prefer in real life respect over the internet respect.
I don't
yeah,
give a
yeah,
shit about this. I used to get upset. Like one time, someone was like, "Oh, her ass is wasted on her face," and like they say all like
Her
mean-
ass is wasted on her
Yeah,
face.
so I have like a nice ass, but I'm ugly.
Is what?
Conversation.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, but I don't really care. Honest, at that point, I would get upset, but now I honestly don't even read the comments because I don't have time. I have other shit going on.
Yeah, this.
I read the comments.
No, I read them all just because I'm bored. B, I don't know. Like I know when I comment on someone's thing, like I hope they're seeing it. So like I want to make sure people know that like
Well,
you took the time to comment, so I figure I'll read it.
Definitely read them,
That's
but
the
the
one.
ones that go in about me, I just
I've had a few that going at me, but
I'll get
luckily I can
screenshots.
just laugh at it.
I
You
get
get
screenshots. I'm like, yo, just don't. I'll take care of the comments. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
'Cause I
right.
read them all anyways.
Yeah.
And once he says that, I'm all in the comments. Like, what do you think? I'm not going to look at. You better off not saying anything and a chance of me not looking.
No. I mean,
Right.
like when like a couple times, like she'll send me a screenshot of like the comments, and I'll be like, wait, what is this from? And I'm like, oh, I didn't even do the show yet. Then I already know that it's going to be some drama in the comment section. Well, oh man, I got to address this shit.
No, it's all good. You guys, I mean, you're coming into your own. You're doing your thing. You got a rhythm going. I think the most important thing is you guys are consistent every Thursday on a Thursday.
At what time?
8:00. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's so key. I can't do that shit. Like I'm so ADD. I can't upload.
We have one member that's a little.
It'll happen with or without the other two.
Yeah.
But that's my point. Is like that's key though.
know.
You know, No, you have to have that. That's key for social media. A lot of people don't get it. A, you got to put out content, but B, almost as important, if not more important, is consistency. So I put out way more content than you, but I'm also just like all over the place. Some will come out at 2 in the morning, some at 2 p.m., so whatever, Yeah. I mean, it's whatever. It's probably not a smart strategy.
I'm the most consistent about is that show. Like I have about 14 pairs of shoes after review. I'm like, but like Thursday, there's no skipping that, no matter what's going on. So
yeah, I feel you. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to ask you was, what before Instagram? Like, what is Instagram kind of like your main social media come up? And come up maybe is a bad word, but MySpace. Okay, but like I guess what I'm getting at is like we were talking about this briefly last time. How like my whole growth into the game was mostly YouTube. Like it started with just like seeing sneaker closets on Complex, DJ Khaled's collection. Next thing you know, I'm going a deep dive on George Keel's stuff with what was his old thing? Not Sneaker News. Was he with not Sneaker News? Oh fuck, Sneakers, whatever. He was with one of these other blogs, and then that evolved into Sneaker Addict, and then United Souls, and then it went into Instagram. But with you, so Nike Talk I hear about all the time, but I missed that whole era. I don't know if you guys were
miserable fucks.
I mean, to be honest, I really wasn't into I was never researching sneakers on the internet. Like I just started posting photos of like my feet, like because I like my shoes. Like if you go on my
MySpace?
Facebook, yeah, and you'll see pictures of like me in Jordans. Not like now, obviously, but it definitely evolved. But I was always taking pictures of my shoes. I always like was just something that I did. Everyone would always be like Kristen in her sneakers and roll their eyes. Like my mom still does.
My mom did that shit too. She was looking at me taking like 15 minutes worth of photos of just like these dumb off-white laces, and she's just like, "Why are you doing this for like 3 likes?" I don't understand, because no one was watching me back then. I had like I don't know 30 followers or some shit, but I was just like, "Yep, let me just post these, post these."
This is what I want to post.
Yeah, But yeah, my mom definitely grilled me. She was like, "What the fuck?"
Definitely think Instagram though has took it to the next level. Like once Instagram, it's all based on pictures. That's it. So I think once that came about, everybody started to get more into it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just going to keep getting more saturated. So anytime someone says, "Yo, should I start like a social media thing?" I'm like, "Yeah," because tomorrow it's going to be harder than today. The next day is going to be harder than, But yeah, I kind of wish I'd hit that wave earlier. Would have been nice.
Like back in the day, like it wasn't about like I felt like we used to take pictures all the time. A little disposable cameras.
Right.
I always had a disposable camera on me, and it was never like I need to get a sneaker shot. I would do fit pics.
Right.
Like when you were showing your boys and like who had a better fit or whatever. Like that was like my main objective. Your main objective was to look better than everybody else around you, and that included your sneakers, which is why like that's what that was.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing, right? Like that's why the people that are early to something take off the quickest, right? So like those rock bands I was talking about, those earlier rock bands, like they made classic music and shit, but like to me at least it hasn't aged well. But they were there first, so that's why they're the biggest ones, and they're going to continue to be the biggest ones. So like those people that thought to do fit pics, sneaker on feet pics, and all that shit, the people that were first to think of that and commit to that obviously blew up, and then whatever. But yeah, I don't know what that next move is.
Just being authentic.
Well, I'll say it on here if I did know.
Right. Yeah, good move. Yeah.
It's so saturated that the only way you can make it these days is by being different.
But see, so I want to ask you guys about that, because I mean, I remember back in the day, and you can kind of use what I use as a gauge is more like sneaker YouTube and what kind of trends they're attaching themselves to. There's like a mystery box era, and then there's like a there's like a whole like that whole unboxing wave. I don't see as much anymore. Where like I got to be the first to unbox this. So I don't see that as much anymore. I don't see the mystery boxes as much anymore. I don't see latest pickups anymore. But maybe that's just because I'm not checking for it as much anymore.
You know what it is though? A lot of people, the mystery box thing is. I don't even know how that even got traction, but anyway, like unboxing, like stores are doing unboxings now.
Oh yeah, like Sneaker News does their own thing.
Like you'll see, I don't know if it's JD, one of like the UK, they'll do unboxings from the store like days before. So realistically, I mean, I don't want to watch that one anyway, but I mean, if you're just someone trying to get a quick reference, it's there for you.
Right,
you're going to get an honest opinion on
I think maybe that's part of it too, is like these early adopters of the social media sneaker realm stuff, like because they were first to it and they were just doing it, they were just kind of like doing it. But now there's people like, Seth Fowler and Sean Go, and then Sneaker News are like kind of the people I think of when I think of like these guys made it the most efficient thing of like, this is an unboxing, these are the materials, these are the close-up 4K shots, and here's the blah, blah, blah. Like to them, like they've like, I feel like cornered it as like, okay, we found the best optimal way to do this the most efficiently, and we're just going to be really good at that.
And I think the next step is doing it better than that.
So what is that next step? I don't know.
I'm not.
You have ideas, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I don't have time, but I have ideas.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know because there's like that lane, and then there's like the like wear testers. That's his lane. He's like, okay, I just do performance, and I'm going to give you the best performance reviews, and that's what he does. And then you guys do more just like this is going to look good or this is not going to look good. The end. Like I don't give a shit about anything else.
With me, it's just like I just be myself. That's how I feel. Like if I can't make it being myself, then I don't want to make it at all. Like with like having a manager and stuff, and then they tell you they want you to do this, they want you to do that. And
How did that even come about? Is that like
through Instagram.
so? Does someone reach out to be like, hey, I want to manage you?
Well, he manages and he collects sneakers. So
okay.
he was like, we became friends, and then he was like, I think that you're gonna take off and I'll be your manager. But like he lives in California, so he owns a management company and he owns Bait. He's part owner of Bait.
Oh,
And he
okay.
owns like a lot of things in LA, but he's really nice and he's gonna manage Mike too.
Nice. Congrats.
Congrats to me. Right.
This is the press conference. We just found out.
found
Breaking
out.
news. Yeah, I don't
He's
have a
like,
breaking
and
news.
he
button.
just like tries to tell me like what I need to do to get there. Like he manages all these other people, but I mean I'm at that level yet. I feel like I need.
I mean, I don't even know what that looks like. Like, I'm trying to put myself in.
You get like he'll get you like a contract with
to do what though?
brands,
Like photo
design
shoots and stuff.
shoes,
Oh, designing shoes. Okay.
Content.
content, or
Content,
being
consulting.
affiliate or being an influencer for a brand. Like say Puma wants you to like wear this.
Get you into an event or
Yeah.
something.
I
Like,
mean, my dream is to do a Jordan. Like I would love to do a Jordan.
Right,
but,
right.
I mean, I speak it to existence doesn't mean it's going to happen. But I
Yeah,
also
but I
never
think it's
thought
step
that
one,
this
right?
would happen.
Yeah, no.
I don't think necessarily that Nike thought that this would happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Through the Nike by You program. So I'm just hoping that, bigger things come. I mean, I'm going to Toronto on Saturday.
oh, for
Speak
what?
At SneakerCon.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to probably go to Atlanta and speak there.
So are you saying none of that would have happened without this manager? Like, is the manager really
No,
pushing all
I
these
think None of
things?
this would have happened without me. The manager came like right when my shoe was about to drop.
Right.
So that's fresh.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I don't know what they're going to add for you. If you got this far by yourself, like, what are they really adding? I don't know.
I think time. I think time is going to be a major factor in having the manager, whereas it might take a little bit longer to reach certain people or to get into certain conversations
the
or be in
people they
certain
know.
rooms.
Okay.
Like there's shortcuts. There's shortcuts for everything.
Gotcha,
so like,
gotcha.
You can be like right now, we could be a conversation in 10 boardrooms, but by the time it gets to us, it could be 6 months, 8 months, a year from now. There's a back door to that.
Got it.
See, like, and I'm not going to come out of my realm to satisfy people to be like, okay, yeah, do this.
Yeah, it never works anyway.
I'm not, like, it's not real. And I want to be, like, myself. So if I can't be myself, and then I don't want to do it, pretty much. But, like, I just hope that eventually it lead to me getting a big contract to design a shoe. I don't want to work for a brand. I'd rather just be, like, an outside contract.
Yeah, right.
Like Aaliyah May. How do you say her name?
Alayli.
Laylee May. Like her, like, I always say her name wrong. And then, I just want to be something like that. I don't.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I would love to design a shoe someday, but I don't know what my
Do a bespoke, man.
I don't know.
Well, that's what really got me here.
Mhm.
If you think about it, spending, investing money in making bespokes and getting noticed through people liking my bespokes and my bespokes being so popular.
But who
That's
knew?
how it got me here.
Nobody knew.
I know, but I'm just saying what got me here, though. If you think about it,
Yeah, you were doing what you wanted to do,
Cultivator
and
looked at
then
my Instagram page, and my Instagram page at the time was all my bespokes.
Mm-hmm.
So, they see, this girl likes sneakers and she likes to design sneakers, so they picked me. So they don't necessarily pick like a lot of sneakers. I'm just the only sneaker person besides
No, I'm saying like you were staying organic to yourself though. Like you were making those bespokes just to make them.
myself. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want people to think that like you're like, oh, make bespokes and people will notice you. That's not the thing.
Well, they also now
You know what I'm saying?
now they
No,
see,
yeah.
now they're all entering We Are Cultivator because it's like, wow, I want to be like that. Like
right.
I want.
But see, that's my point. It's like kind of like what we were talking about with the social media stuff. You were first to like kind of take advantage of this whole cultivator evolution
somebody
thing.
else before me, the first person to do Cultivator before Nike was on board, had got LeBron in his shoe.
Oh, okay.
But he
Air Max
sent it
95.
to him, and he did whatever he had to do to get it. But the level that they got, they didn't tell me anything. Somebody sent me a message on Instagram, and they were like, "Is that your shoe?" And I literally zoomed in and was like, "Nike copied me already." Like that's my initial thought. And then I called him, and I was like, "Yo, you're never gonna believe Serena Williams is in my shoe." And he's like, "Yeah, right. What? Get the fuck out of here." I was like, "Yo."
What are you talking about?
I was like, yo, go look right now. Like, it was just total shock. And they didn't know either. They were like, we sent pairs of everyone's shoe to everyone, but we don't know who's going to wear what. And
Right,
Serena
right.
Williams, it's like Michael Jordan can't say you're gonna wear this. Like, it is what it is. So I just really was blessed.
No, that's pretty dope. I can't imagine like if someone I knew of from afar wore something I designed. That'd be kind of whack. Or not whack.
Like
That'd be wacky. Yeah.
Like if it was just like, an artist or like a singer and they wore it to like the store, it wouldn't, the way she wore it, and she wore it 2 days in a row, and she wore it to a photo shoot, and she's in Vogue magazine with it. Like the level of the that she must have for it, just.
That's super dope.
My eyes out. I was like, "Are you crying happy tears?" I was like, "Yeah."
I was like, what is going on right now?
I was just like,
Are you supposed to be
That's
happy?
nuts.
the week before, I said to him, I was like, my dream would be just to have someone like really big, like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, wear my shoe. So I got the female version.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Even better.
Do you feel like most of your fans are just females that are looking for like someone who's a sneakerhead
I
to
think
like?
now I'm starting to get a lot more girls hit me up and message me. But in the beginning, the girls sneaker community is very tricky because the men, it's mostly men. So when you're a female, they're trying to stand out. But when you see another female standing out, you don't like it necessarily because you're a girl and you're petty. So
That's not you though.
no, that's not me, though, no. But that's how girls are. So I've always I try to stay away from them. But then as soon as I let them in, it's right away. I'm like, I can't deal with this. I'm staying away from everybody. Like, there's always like some kind of issue. Like, I really don't care about anyone. I mind my business, and I just want to make shoes. That's it. But,
Nothing's easy. So you got some hardships you got to go through, I guess.
It can always be worse.
Yeah, exactly. I also wanted to ask you about. So this is obviously your passion, but the other passion / day job you have is this dancing stuff you do. So what do you do exactly? I still don't know.
Okay, so my mom is a dancer.
Okay.
And you stepped me on my shoes.
Socks on.
And my sister's a dancer, and we all dance. So my mom started a dance studio when she was young, and it's like 35 years open.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's a family business, and I've been dancing since I was in her belly, pretty much.
And it's what kind of dance do you do?
Ballet, tap, jazz, modern, lyrical, contemporary.
And so, and these shows I see, like these little kids that you're always working with, is this like coaching you're doing? Is this?
Well, it's considered coaching. I have a competition team. So we have a dance studio, but then we have a competition team, and they're national champions.
Okay.
They take it really serious. So, so I basically train them every day for like literally 13 years of their life. And
Jesus
most of them
Christ.
go off to do things. So yeah, Girl was in the Dark Fantasy video with Kanye.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
As one of the black ballerinas?
Swans,
Oh,
yeah,
what?
yeah. Also, Girl's been on Broadway, Rockettes, all types of things. Because my mom, it's a family thing. So, but I definitely train them really hard. And I have like I just won choreographer of the year right before my shoe drop.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, you got everything going on right now.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things going
I
on.
do got a lot of things going on.
Jeez, yeah, that's super dope. You said you had questions for me?
That was my question, how's the show worse with me on it?
Oh, okay. I never said that. We can go back to the
I
tape.
said to Mike, I'm like, how?
Roll
He's
that
like,
beautiful
no,
bean
he was,
footage.
I was like, so was
It wasn't a negative thing at all. It was just, it's just not the same.
I was just like, let Tone do the intro. I miss Tone doing the
So
intro.
if Tone does the intro, then what am I supposed to do?
Everything else. I mean, talk
sit
about
there
the
and be on my
shoes,
phone.
not be on your phone.
I mean, I'm not there when you guys are filming, but I don't know. It sounds like you get your thoughts in.
Yeah.
But I know early on,
Like it. Sometimes I
yeah,
get bored.
early on it was
Very weird.
half cringe, half hilarious. Like watching you get furious with these guys.
I mean, that was the highlight,
Beginning
definitely.
was rough.
Definitely the highlight.
It was rough. Especially too because like I feel like I love you, Tone. But I feel like sometimes Tone wasn't very necessarily okay with me being on the show. So
Well,
at first it was a little.
Tone's teasing was hilarious to me because like I could see he's clearly teasing, but I could also see it's clearly bothering you, and I was just like, oh my god, stop.
I should have put like a 3,
Now me and
2,
Tone would be
1.
Me and Tone team up on him, and he'd be looking at us like, you two.
But he takes it better because he doesn't,
Hey, yo.
Yeah, he does take it better.
But you've started to take it a lot better, like with the joking around, so that's good. But it's got to be hard,
You have
man.
a button for that over there?
What button? Well,
First of all, you're the one who.
Ain't nobody got time for
I
that.
don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's a good button. I like that.
You can't take jokes.
You need some milk is what you need.
some milk?
Yeah, you need some.
He needs some milk.
There we go.
I would, yeah, no, I only have 8 buttons, man. I don't have room.
There's definitely room. Some pretty good snip-ins.
No, I gotta update a few of these. It's just, I've been so busy running around, man, that I started doing.
You got a lot going on.
Well, yeah, because I'm doing the doctor thing, but then when I'm here, I'm doing comedy stuff. So,
Doctor thing is like, just a
Dr. Souls is just great.
Wait. The best was when I found out you were a doctor. I was like, he's a doctor? Like, his name's Dr. Souls. I'm like, I thought that was just.
No, I remember that episode.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah, I was listening to you
He's
guys.
a real doctor?
Nah, I just wear the costume every day.
Every day's Halloween for
You
me.
do the KB pose good, but we think he's going to beat you at the leggings. He put leggings on.
Show enough took the title on you, buddy.
Yeah, I saw that. I finally got to meet her. I was like, yo, showed up.
is bad funny.
Because I thought I didn't know he was a real person. I thought it was because like, you guys always read the comments, you're like, show more, show less, and I thought he was just show enough.
Oh, you showed enough.
Show more, show less, show enough. But I didn't realize he was a real guy. Yeah, he seemed cool. But no, that's the only 2 times I've gone to like sneaker events with you guys. Actually, no, we ran into each other at the Reebok thing, and then all Extra Butter. I've been to a handful of times, but I've never seen you guys. Obviously, it's just
At
like
the same time,
it's hard to do that. But yeah, I just haven't been able to get to as many sneaker things. I want to get to more sneaker stuff, like
I'm not gonna
like
lie
a
to you,
Complex Con. I didn't go to Urban Necessities Grand Opening. I should have went to that.
Complex
But
Con is definitely something I would do.
I mean, like in New York, though, there's like a lot of sneaker things that go on that nobody knows about. Yeah. And it's kind of annoying to me, at least. Like I just started getting like invited to more things, and I'm like, it's been going on the whole time, and the people who are here aren't even into shoes. Like, it's very confusing to me.
yeah, I never get that sense when I go to these events that like everyone's into the shoes.
Yeah,
but.
it's more like a who's who of what's what.
Right.
People who are like, oh, well, I'm the designer here, and I do this here. Do you like? No, I don't really like this brand. So what are you doing here?
It's almost like an LA vibe. It's just like, yo, who needs to get to know who and
Exactly. I mean, but that's what the whole system is about.
Yeah.
Who not what.
See, I'm not used to that because I'm coming from the medical math
know,
science world. It's like, I mean, there's a little bit of that, but it's a bigger component is definitely like you got to fucking know your shit, or you got to like have some kind of substance here. Like it's not just whoever schmoozes the best becomes the Harvard doctor. Like that's just not what it works.
yeah,
I wish
Better
they
start
applied doctor rules in the community.
But it's harder too. But it's also it's a pro and a con because the pro is. Or I should say the con is, yeah, exactly that. Just like you got to fucking play this fake bullshit game all the time.
That's why I'm here. That's why
Right,
I'm
right.
further.
Yeah.
I should have like 100K, but no. 'Cause
But the pro of that is, luckily you're able to do more. I feel like the ceiling is less with this kind of thing. Because like if something does click eventually, then it'll really take
just
off
be,
because
you know,
it's
just
truly
be
who
me.
you are.
Yeah,
Exactly. Whereas for me, it's like I can't be 100% who I am at work. Like that's just not going to fly. You know. It's
They'd be
not
like,
gonna
wait,
fly.
this guy's going to work on
Yeah.
it.
Get this guy away from me.
Right. Yeah, but that's kind of the tricky thing too, because like I like belittle my own work. Like I'm like, yeah, that doctor thing. And I'm just like I'm so over it because I'm so used to it. I'm looking for the next like mind challenge, which is it's just like okay, what more creative sneaker content or podcast topic or YouTube video can I make or stand up comedy bit can I come up with? Like to me, it's less of a ceiling. Whereas with medicine, obviously I could learn more, and I am doing that, but like the rate of it is not as
Same thing with
good.
dance. Like I'm so used to it and been doing it so long. Like I downplay
Right.
it. Like people are like, you did this and you do that.
Right.
I'm just like,
Yeah, because other people are watching your footsteps and be like, "Oh my God, you've accomplished so much." But it's just like for you, it's just like, okay, yeah, I accomplished it, but now I gotta
know
do
I
something
did that
else.
already. Thanks.
Right. That's why we buy the new iPhone every year, or start a new podcast, or hype bees. How much more can they do, right? But they constantly have to look for more to do, right?
Listen, don't get me involved in that. Right? I mean, honestly, like it's a combative nature of like all these blogs. Like everybody, this guy's doing that, and now we have to do that.
Yeah, everyone's got to one up
wanna
each
do a
other.
better
Yeah.
podcast and that guy, like they want to do a better representation of this guy. Like,
Yep. I'm getting better at that schmooze game, though. I'll be honest with you. And the thing is, I realized this when I started doing comedy here because before that, any kind of network, I hate the word networking, right? But anytime type of networking I would do would be like medical field related. So I'd be going to these conferences, research things, whatever. And these are nice people, but it's just like I don't have fun talking to them. And then I started going to comedy things. I'm like, I'm having fun talking to these guys. All of a sudden I'm networking, but it's like I really want to be here. I really want to like talk to these guys.
That's the difference though. Like there's networking. Like I'll go to a ton of, and I won't talk to anybody. And then there'll be that one person that I like talking to, and I'll talk to them the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, but you won't know if you like talking to people unless you talk to them.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations. Like I could, in 2 minutes, I'll be like, I like talking to this guy.
Right. But you won't know what, I guess you won't put yourself in that position unless it's someplace you really want to go. You know what I mean? So like you want to go to a sneaker event, you want to go to a, whatever. So you'll take the risk of finding out, oh yeah, I like this guy. I want to talk to him.
Dick. I'll do that with anybody.
I'm the worst
to
at
pick your brain.
Like you take me to an event and I'm in the corner like.
Yeah, I'll circle the room and see who I know and see who's got a good vibe and like I'll bullshit with them. But like you also have to know how to read people.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't want to engage.
But I think you were talking about shortcuts. I think that's one of the nice shortcuts about social media is like once you get a good enough following, people start coming up to be like, hey, I recognize you from. I literally got recognized walking around the block to get a haircut. Like some kid was like, hey, it's just like, or at the airport, like, hey, like it's starting to happen to me a little bit. So I was like, oh yeah. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, because I'm kind of the same way. I just want to hide in the corner. Like, all right, don't talk to me.
Socially awkward, definitely. Because I don't like to fake it. And people right away are like, hey, and I'm just like, hi.
But they also don't know you. They don't know you though. So like they're trying to get to know you.
I mean, right off the top, you think I'm a bitch because I'm like that. But it's me just being protective.
You're also a female.
And plus, like, when a dude comes over and tries to talk to you right away, you think he's like,
That's why you're female. Like, you have to be on guard a little bit with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, the best person in the world, but, like, sometimes, they'll be in my DM, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. So, like, I'm not going to engage a conversation with you only because I feel, especially if it's, like, a girl. If she's, like, sending me something positive or, like, or a reaction to a shoe is one thing, but, like, if they start asking other questions, like, I don't even engage. I'm like, nope, I'm good. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
If you make a leggings comment, don't expect a reply.
Leggings. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, no, I get the position you're in because it's definitely a factor we don't have to deal with, or at least as often, right? But... I don't know. I think it's like if you're at something where like it just comes down to do I really want to be there now? Like I'm going to this wedding this weekend. Luckily, I know a few people there that I'm like cool with, so that's good enough for me. But like typically I hate weddings, so like I'm already in this mood of like I don't want to talk to you. There's no way there's going to be fun, and they could be a fun person, but I'm just like I don't want to do this.
Like me.
Yeah, you're getting like that. That's definitely like an older thing. As I get older, like sometimes I'm like,
yeah.
I hate weddings.
Yeah, I can't stand
free
weddings.
booze are definitely an added bonus.
You got to stand up, sit down. It's like a whole thing.
Well, you're not in the church the whole
No,
time.
but they do the dance. You got to go watch. You got to go sit down.
Yeah, it's like all about them, and it's like, yeah, I know you guys, but like I'm gonna get to see you today for like maybe 4 seconds. The rest of your day is like consumed. Gotta be seen by everyone else. It's not like we can hang out.
Got to spend money to be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing, but I mean, I've been to a handful of fun weddings, but there's got to be at least 11 to 15, 16 people I know.
The groomsmen and everything.
Yeah, luckily I'm in this wedding, so I've only been in one other wedding, and that was actually a fun one because like I know the guys clearly because I was in the wedding, and like we have a few days of good time, or at least one good day of a good time before the whole event. Then you have the day of where you're already there, you're already having a good time. There's a whole agenda of stuff to do. You guys are hanging out with the boys.
It goes quick.
Yeah, and you're kind of behind the scenes doing everything while everyone else is kind of like pulling into the other side. Then you guys come in, you do your things. Like, yeah, what's up?
You're also not driving anywhere. You're in like a limo with
right.
everybody.
Yeah, that definitely adds a fun factor that otherwise I despise weddings 100%. I just can't.
I mean, the cool part about being in the wedding is you have to get gifts, so that's pretty dope too.
You still got to give a
Like
bigger gift, though.
Well, the groom,
you get a gift. The groom gets you a gift.
To
Yeah,
his man.
right.
Like, oh, I'll get a gift. I don't mind giving you some.
Right.
But if I gotta pull up to this wedding and sit there with one suit and then change and drive to the church, and I have to give you money for this too. Like, no.
Yeah, dude.
And the food sometimes sucks.
Does it? Luckily, every wedding I've been to, the food's been pretty good.
That's like the scariest part. Is the food. The booze, you can't go wrong, but like it could be a really bad day, could have rained, whatever, and then you sit down to eat and you're like, oh, I'm so hungry after all this waiting, and the food sucks, and you just give a $400 card, you're like, oh, you just want to like go flip the table over.
Yeah, luckily it hasn't happened to me, but I'm also not a picky eater. I don't know.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Oh, speaking of which, do you guys still do those wing nights?
We're trying to do a great adventure thing.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I think that's going to be a little much, especially for someone like me who I'm all over the place.
In the car with us. wouldn't leave you. for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm sure like we'll have like at least 3 or 4 cars going, so like it's not like
And
hard
Tone
to.
doesn't go on rides either. So if you're not into rides, definitely chill. He doesn't go on rides.
Nah, I love roller coasters, but
good.
I'm
So
more
I
of
still wanna go on
I'm
the
more
rides
of a boozy float kind of deal. you
yeah,
know what I'm
right.
saying?
No, I mean, there's a role for all those. I mean, maybe you could do that a different summer or some shit.
Do
But.
some, wing night though, I tend to be male only. I don't like to go to wing nights. I feel like I'm not welcomed.
Usually male dominated.
Interesting. Yeah, I never got to go. You guys would announce them, and this was before I moved down, so I never even could make it. But I haven't heard you guys announce them.
Well, so like the last time I think we did one like a large one was a smorgasbord
Oh, really?
in Williamsburg. Maybe we'll do that again on a Saturday.
Okay.
Just have everybody do it.
That would be, yeah, because it's like a good vibe to get you out of the house, you know. It's open, you know.
Well, when's your next?
I leave, so I'm leaving early this week because of that wedding, and then, like I said, I love being in New York in October, so I try to be here as much as I can. So I took an extra week off in October, which I'm going to tack on to September, so I'm actually headed right back for the rest of the month. But I'll be back first or second Monday of October.
So the second Monday of October
You'll
is
be
when
here
you're
the whole
back.
month.
So the 7th, October 7th till the 27th, I think, because I leave that weekend. So I try to be here at least through Halloween weekend and then head out. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll be here 3 weeks in October, the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta see how long smorgasbord runs. We'll figure it out. Okay.
You ever need someone to,
House.
house it?
Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to get you guys over here just to even hang out. I had my Super Bowl party here.
We were gonna come.
Yeah, Tone came. It was a decent time.
I'll tell you what happened. Tone's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to go. So I was like, if you're not going to go, I'm not going to go. And then all of a sudden on the day of the Super Bowl, Tone's
See
Instagram.
pictures.
Tone's Instagram. Tone's like, here. I was like, what the fuck? Some
Yeah,
bullshit.
I'm hoping to do it again this year. But yeah, last year sucked because the game was just so boring. It was just, what was it, like 13-6 or something?
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Jets weren't in it.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely not going to be in it this
Won't
year
be in it for quite
either. But fuck, what was the other thing I wanted to ask you before we wrap this up? Oh no, I was just gonna say like yeah, the nice thing about wing night, I didn't know about the male dominated part of it, but not that bothers me obviously, but no, I like the idea of just like a monthly or bi-monthly hangout sesh. You guys meet up, have a few drinks and food and whatever, and then everyone disperses.
Do a football Sunday.
Well, that's the other thing. You could do like a football Sunday, just like.
But so like the annoying part about that is like the more people that want to come, the larger the place has to be. Number one.
Well, we
Number
can
two,
always
it's
go to
football Sunday.
Miller's Ale House with like.
Yeah, either that or like, isn't the Queen's Beer Garden like pretty wide open and spacious and shit?
Be able to watch football.
But don't they put the games on in there?
Yeah, they do.
I could have swore I watched a game or two there in my
Play
time.
beer garden. I feel like they don't play any music. I feel
No,
like
no, no.
I'm standing there.
You're talking about Studio Square is the one you're talking
Oh,
about.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's Beer Garden, which is the one that's open with all the dirt, and then there's Studio Square, which has all the TVs. They play like the
The
soccer games and
Miller's
stuff.
on Queens Boulevard is huge.
Yeah, it's Queens Boulevard.
Yeah, we could figure it out.
Yeah, at least
Oh, the other thing
it's closer.
we should figure out is this comedy show. I think it would be a
I think
dope
it's a really
idea.
good idea, and
you
I
know?
actually have to talk to our mutual friend here, and maybe figure something else. Somebody else hit me up about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
trying to
talk.
think. Somebody else hit me up.
Because I know plenty of sneakerhead comedians who are like really funny and they're like super into the
Might have
streetwear
been
shit.
somebody that you had posted, as a matter of fact.
Oh, maybe.
That I was noticing was wearing sneakers. And I was like, oh.
Okay. Yeah, no, I gotta talk to some of those guys because they have they even have their own streetwear podcast that they do. It's pretty good. The Sup podcast, and it's like the Supreme logo. Yeah, I sent this to you. But anyway, yeah. So let's wrap this up because I know we got to get you guys out of here soon. I want to do the sneaker stuff with you. So plug your stuff. Where can we find you? One more time.
Wait, I'm confused.
Plug your socials. Where do the fans
23.
that just found you? Where can they find more of you?
K Black 23. The L is a 1. Don't forget the 23 because Mike always does. K Black 23 on Twitter. Kristen Black on Facebook. And that's it. On YouTube, I'm on the Camp Out Breakdown every week. I'm the star of the show.
Every Thursday.
Thursday on a Thursday at 8 p.m.
We missed this stuff.
And yeah, that's it.
No matter where you go, you always forget that every Thursday on a Thursday.
I know because it's Tone's intro. That's
I listen to her like outros, and I'm like, oh, where is the Thursday on a Thursday? This is the Camp Out, spelled with a 0. You could find me on Instagram at that same header. Hype Report, it's somewhere. You'll find a link on one of my pages, and the Breakdown every Thursday on a Thursday at 8 p.m.
Boom. And we'll link it all in the YouTube description. If you listen on audio apps, though, just like, subscribe, or however that shit works on the podcast apps. Leave a review, 5-star, helps the shit grow. And subscribe to the Camp Out. Like I said, get them to 10K. Big things happen for KB. And thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Peace. Boom. All right. So that was.
I did good.
So you know what's cool?